Hello everybody, welcome to another BigAl vlog, and before we start, it's time for some antidepressants. So this is the basement where all the magic happens, and no, not that kind of magic, you sick bastards. Nope, this is where I'm doing most of my prop building now. As you can see, I have my NES Jason mask already. All I did was take your basic dollar store hockey mask and drilled a couple holes in it and painted it blue. I was going to get the NECA replica of the Jason mask from the game where it glow in the dark and shit, but it was $30. So, yeah, fuck that. And this scepter I have here is going to be for Ripto from Spyro the Dragon 2. And here's the best part. It lights up. Wonderful. And here's my tripod. Here is the fucking terrifying me mask that I made out of paper mache and duct tape. Wonderful. Here's some yellow fabric that's going to be used for my classic Scorpion costume. And here's the... Let me do that. There's the sash that's going to be wrapped around my waist. Here's one of the tabards. As you can see, it has pointed shoulder pads. And and here is the kunai with the rope attached. Now, a lot of cosplayers, they cosplay from they do like the more modern Scorpion, so it's a chain rope, but here it's just a regular old nylon cord that's been spray painted a dark brown. And believe it or not, the kunai itself is just an old Naruto kunai. So I painted it silver, put some Mod Podge on it to seal it, and I wrapped it with some green electrical tape, and I tied a basic knot at the end and hot glued it in place so I can... Let's see if I can do this without destroying it. Alright, here we go. I'm going to regret this. Get over here! Fuck. Also back here is my barrel of weapons. No longer being set in the corner of my room where they're never seen again. They're actually all conveniently located in a barrel. And speaking of Jason, here's my prop machete that I carved out of wood myself. Now you're probably wondering, why the fuck is it so huge? Well, because in the video game, the machete was about as big as his arm, so that's pretty fitting there. Up next we have my proton pack. It's finally finished. Well, it was finished to begin with, but I put some finishing touches, like some couplings or some rings on the... Fuck, what was it called? I forgot what this drum thing was called. Well, that on that, and I actually put an actual rubber tube where it connects to that thing over there, instead of those those plastic things that goes one of those things. Let's see here. This is gonna be for my port costume from Ruby. It is the greatest weapon known to man, the blunderbuss axe. Set that right there. I also remade Grandpa Harley's blunderbuss out of PVC piping, an old wooden chair handle, some more PVC piping, and a funnel. For those who don't know, the original was made from a Vuvuzela. Here we have what appears to be a barbed wire bat. And it is. It's just wrapped in polycord instead of actual barbed wire. I took black polycord, painstakingly knotted it and wrapped it around the bat. Then I painted it with a coat of silver, let that dry, and then I painted a coat of copper. So not only did it look like it was rusted, then it looked like there was blood all over it. And for that, you could probably guess, is for my McFoley costume. And this is one of my favorite props that I made. Technically, it's a collaboration prop between me and my buddy John, because he was the one who came up with the design, but I was the one who ultimately made it. This is a wizard staff, specifically a fire mage staff, and if I can get into a dark area over here, this is gonna suck filming, but we'll see how it works. Okay, come on. Oh, come on, you son of a bitch. There we go. It lights up. Pretty cool, huh? Speaking of Mortal Kombat, I'm bringing back an old favorite. Something that I cosplayed years ago, but never had a chance to really cosplay again because of reasons. You see the hook swords there that I made out of shelving. I don't know what the hell the wood is called. It's just used to make shelving. I carved this out with my Dremel, wrapped the handle, and then covered it in Mod Podge to seal the paint. But I also have that. That's right, folks. Cabal, one of my favorite Mortal Kombat characters, and I made the mask. And I cosplayed him one time, and that was at ASIN, I believe. Yeah, it was at ASIN. I was also King Muscle and Luffy, but basically what I did is I tried to replicate the original Mortal Kombat 3 version as best as I could. And, well, I guess that's you to decide if I succeeded or not. But here we have, there's the skull cap, there's the fake hair, there's the respirator mask here, there's the eyes, and in case you're wondering what the mask itself is made out of, if you can flip it over, it is in fact another one of those Dollar Tree Jason. It still has a sticker. It still has a sticker on it. Product is not associated with Friday the 13th. So yeah, there you go. Just in case they try to sue them, they can say, well, this isn't a Jason mask. It's just a generic hockey goalie mask. So fuck you people. Now a couple more things before I get onto the actual, I guess you could say, blog/rant portion. This is my Pac-Man costume. Now, I was going to show that off at Shudokan, but I was a dumbass because I couldn't fit it in my fucking car. So I spent like 10 minutes trying to shove it in there as best as I can and ultimately gave up, so I'm just going to have to remake my Pac-Man costume somehow. And okay, just to get this out of the way right now, I know it picks it up when I breathe on camera. I'm not out of breath. I know I'm fucking fat. I know I'm huge. But I'm not out of breath. It's just I naturally take breaths in between. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just I'm not out of breath. I'm so fucking fat. I'm not like that. That's just how I breathe. I know some trolls are gonna be like, oh, that's an excuse, whatever. But that's just getting that out there. Anyway, my next project is going to be for a friend. As you can see, I have it all sketched out. This is a scrap piece of wood. I'm going to turn it into a wakizashi, and it's going to be for a bleach costume. And can't remember what the hell the name of the blade is called, but it's a short sword. It has a blue tied hilt. It has like some kind of S shape on it, and yeah. And recently, me and a friend of mine got done making Crom's Falcon from Fire Emblem. They were a Crom cosplayer, and I just want to say, I hope you had fun. I really, Crystal, I hope you had a lot of fun at Colossal Con. I'm glad you got to meet Crom's voice actor, Matthew Mercer, and and I really hope you had a lot of fun, not only making the blade with me and finishing it, but also having at showing it off at Colossal Con. So there you go. You know, let's hang out again sometime. But yeah, anyway, that's really all I gotta say about props and costumes that I'm working on. So let's get down to business. So yeah, this is basically my workshop where I work with all my toys and all my props and all my costumes and all kinds of other fun shit. So yeah, I'll see you the next, as I said in the last vlog, the next convention that I'm going to be at is GoDecoCon, so I hope to see you guys there. Unfortunately, JFAX is out of the question because they're taking a year off to fix some shit and to get their shit together, and I have no idea what's going to happen with that. Rumor has it they're going to actually start charging for admission now because they had to move to an actual convention center. At least that's what I've been told. So it's not going to be on a college campus anymore. It's going to be at an actual convention center. So it's more than likely going to cost some money. How much money? I have no idea. But this is probably going to discourage a lot of people from coming to JFAX because it was a free convention for so long. So if you didn't see it coming a mile away because of the leaks that were happening a couple days ago, the new Smash update is out right now. And one thing I just wanted to say, originally in my Smash review, in my Super Smash Bros. Review, I was going to say that if Mewtwo was the only downloadable, then fuck this game, fuck Nintendo. Well, they proved me wrong, because not only did we have one wave of Mewtwo and new amiibo costumes, now we have new stages coming, now we have brand new characters, and a shitload more amiibo costumes and more content. Like, you can, if I remember correctly, you can now take your saved videos and put them on YouTube, which is pretty cool. But here's what I find funny about the newest update. For years now, I've seen all these hardcore tourney players who basically masturbate to Street Fighter and Tekken. They're like, oh, Brawls, Smash Brothers shouldn't be an Evo. It's not a real fighting game. It's not a real fighting game. Why is it an Evo tournament? And then fucking Ryu shows up from Street Fighter. So I honestly think that was planned from the very start. Sakurai's like, hey, these people don't like Smash in tournaments because they like Street Fighter. Why don't we put a Street Fighter character in them just to fuck with them? Because Sakurai's a gigantic-ass troll like that. And I just realized the irony. I'm talking about video games in a basement. And I'm over the age of 20. Kind of living the stereotype, don't you think? I'm excited, because I like Street Fighter, I like Ryu. I'm glad Kyle Hebert's voicing him again in this game. And it's really cool that you could either play him as a Smash character or play him like he did in his original game. Kind of like with Mega Man, how everything's projectiles and he controls almost exactly like he does in the Nintendo games. Well, with Ryu, if you do like the original button combinations for his special moves, they're even more powerful than if you were to do him as a regular special move. I think that's a great addition, and plus I'm hyped for all the fucking amiibo or Mii fighters. I keep saying amiibo. I'm sorry, Mii fighter costumes. Although Mii fighters are getting amiibos, so I guess it's technically correct. But yeah, also we're getting the old Smash, some of the old Super Smash Bros. 64 arenas back. We're getting Hyrule Castle, which people have been wanting forever. We're getting Peach's Castle. We already have Dreamland back. I want Mushroom Kingdom. Just plain old classic Mushroom Kingdom with the 8-bit blocks and everything. I think that'd be a great addition. I mean, Mushroomy Kingdom is in the 3DS version, so it's not like it'd be hard to put it in. And I'm wondering if they're gonna put any more new stages in there for like Dr. Mario and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like for existing characters that don't have stages of their own. Like imagine fighting in the giant pillbox, or I don't know what the hell you could do with Rob. I don't know. Forget I said anything. Anyway, next I want to talk about something. This is a little bit of old news, but I'm going to mention it anyway because I've actually planned this for a rant, so this might as well be. Fuck it. Play the intro music. And here we are again. This has to do with Markiplier. And for those who've been living under a rock, Markiplier is another one of those, I guess what you would consider dime a dozen Let's Players that instead of focusing on the game is focusing on how funny he looks and how much he can scream over stupid bullshit. Now, to be fair, I'm a fan of Markiplier. I think he's funny. But recently, there's been a bit of a shitstorm brewing with Markiplier. And he issued a gigantic-ass apology on his Tumblr. And I was going to read the apology, but I'll post it in the link so you can read it for yourself. Basically, he apologized for doing a couple of harmless jokes and for making fun of Tumblr. And he's basically on his fucking hands and knees apologizing for this shit. And what happened was, the joke he was apologizing for was someone told him he wasn't pretty. And he was like, "Are you sure about that?" And he posted a picture of himself making goofy faces wearing makeup. And there was also another picture of him wearing a dress. And people thought that was transphobic, and then made a huge fucking deal about it. So what did he do? He did what anybody probably would have done in that situation: make fun of them for being so goddamn hypersensitive. So he posted on Tumblr saying, "Oh, Tumblr's being hypersensitive and overreacting again. None of this water is wet." And you know what? He should have left it at that. You know, kind of went the JonTron route. Make fun of them and never touch it again. You know what I mean? But no, what he did was he issued this gigantic-ass unnecessary apology. Basically saying, "I'm sorry I made fun of people. I'm sorry what I did might have offended somebody." And he's referring to the makeup thing. You know, it might have triggered somebody. It might have made people feel uncomfortable. And for that, I'm sorry. You know, it was a knee-jerk thing for me to make fun of it. I'm sorry. And he was just basically... You know, I'm wondering how long it's going to take before he just starts flogging himself in the back and apologizing for fucking existing. I mean, this is fucking ridiculous at this point. I mean, when I saw him post that, you know, "Ooh, water is wet," you know, I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God, someone who's going to put his foot down and, you know, not censor themselves or apologize for doing something that wasn't warranting an apology to fucking begin with. Thank God, someone who's going to put their foot down and say, "No, fuck this shit, you guys are being idiots." But no, he apologizes. He apologizes and here's the thing that gets me. People still think he's like this problematic asshole. Like he's this gigantic ass. I'm like, have you seen his charity work? Like recently, he did a Make-A-Wish Foundation video for this kid in a wheelchair, and it's never really specified what's wrong with him. But it's like, he just, you know, this kid wanted to see Markiplier, so Markiplier went to his house and was like, "Hey, let's play video games, and I have all this video equipment for you to get started on your own video making career." And you know, Mark did that. He donated all of his money. He did this. He just straight up gave the kid all this video equipment, and he played video games with him for the weekend. And I'm like, how can you hate this guy? He goes out of his... Most celebrities won't even go out of their fucking way to see kids who are dying. And here's this guy, this normal guy, plays video games. He's like, "Sure, I'll do it." How can you fucking hate that guy? That and the fact that he's willing to go out of his way to apologize for a non-issue kind of proves that he's not as big of an asshole as people make him out to be. It's just people are so willing to get outraged and offended over fucking anything these days, and it's ridiculous. I mean, why do you think, you know, comedians no longer want to go to college campuses like Seinfeld was talking about? As much as I absolutely hate Seinfeld as a comedian, I don't think he's funny at all. He's fucking right. Because if, you know, as clean as he is, he could, you know, he himself said he couldn't get away with half his material. He couldn't, because somebody would get offended, somebody would try to sue him. You know, he'd be forced to write an apology, and it was just all these fucking loopholes. That's why he doesn't go to college campuses. That's why Chris Rock doesn't go to college campuses. That's why Larry the Cable Guy doesn't go to college campuses. I think even Liza Lampanelli refuses to go to college campuses because people get outraged over stupid shit. And so this final portion of my video is going to go out to Mark himself, if by some chance he happens to stumble upon this video. And it's, dude, Mark, dude, I understand. You want to be a decent guy. You want to, I don't know, be a beacon of hope. You want to make people's days just a little bit brighter if they're feeling sad or down. I understand that, dude. You want to go out of your way to help people. Trust me, I completely understand that. And it's very noble I'm not saying it isn't. I'm not saying that you are an idiot for going out of your way to please people. It's very noble. And I would hope to God there are more people like you. There needs to be more people like you in this shitty world. But there is a difference, a very clear difference between wanting to go out of your way to help somebody and turning yourself into a doormat for everybody to walk on. There's a very clear distinction between those two. And I learned the hard way several times. Not just on YouTube or the internet, but in real life. I've given money to people, that have never paid me back, and I never see them again. I've let people stay the night at my house, despite the fact that I would get in trouble for it. I let people make me the butt of every single one of their jokes, and I just kind of laugh it off, because, hey, they're my friends, they don't mean that. And it turns out they never liked me to begin with. They just have me around as their fucking punching bag. And that's the thing. Like, I've mentioned this before. How I am on YouTube is almost completely different to how I am in real life. You put on a facade. Everybody does that. You have a camera in front of them, you act out. That's just how it works. But and people think I'm an asshole, which I am. But I'm kind of an asshole that cares. It's like I try to do everything I can to help out my friends. There are people who think I'm a jackass. There are people who think I'm a jerk. And whatever. It's okay. Let them think that way. But because I'm kind, and because I go out of my way to help people, there are people who took advantage of that. Like, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this, Mark. There was a time, before I went to college, when I was still living with my dad, I still hung out with some of my old high school buddies, and one of them was friends with this guy. I only saw him or met with him like a couple of times. In fact, I don't even remember his name now. I only remember his actions. And one night, he called me in the middle of the night. I was just about to go to sleep, and he calls me, and he's like, "Hey dude, Al, you there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" "Dude, I need you to do me this huge favor." And I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" And it's weird because, like I said, he's asking me for favors. He's asking me for favors, and I hardly even hang out with the guy. And it turns out that he was in jail for drug possession, drug usage, and he needed money for bail. And he was telling me he needed $60, and he would be released. Something to that effect. And he was making this grandiose story, like, "Dude, I got these relatives that live in, like, Maryland, and I'm going to be moving out and living with them, and they're rich, they're loaded, and I'll have them give me money so I can pay you back, man, I promise." So, and I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, I don't want to just say no. as fucked up and ridiculous as his predicament is, I don't even know if he was telling the truth. For all I know, he could have just been lying out of his ass and just wanted money for a fix or whatever. And I didn't want to be a jackass. I didn't just want to say no and hung up. But I said yes. And I sent him the money. And wouldn't you know it, never heard a peep from him again, and I never got paid back. So ever since that time, I've been trying to, not be so naive when it came to people I considered my friends. And it's another thing, Mark. You're not gonna like to hear this, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. You don't owe these people shit. First of all, like, my experiences are with real people, like people that I knew in real life. These are people that you don't even know, Mark. You've never met them in real life. You don't even know their names. You don't know them, so you don't owe them. These people aren't your fans, Mark. And I've said this about every other fandom. What kind of person calls themselves a fan when they have nothing but contempt for the thing they claim to be a fan of? They say nothing but bad things about it. They demand everything. They say nothing but bad things about it, yet at the same time demand everything from it. Like, they're gonna say that you're a horrible piece of shit because of some harmless fucking joke. Oh, by the way, another thing that Mark apologized for was a joke he made about trans people several years ago. That's now just being brought up. Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, how long do you think it's gonna take before they start digging up your fucking high school history and then start calling you a piece of shit because of that? I mean, shit, you might as well. Fuck, let's go all the way back to when you were born, Mark. When someone might find something that you puked on a black guy or something when you were 1, and because of that, you're a racist. Like, come on, man. You can't let these people fucking control you. I understand. You want to appease everybody, but you can't. You can't please everybody. You can't please everybody while at the same time have fun with what you're doing and do what you want to do. You just can't do that. When it comes to the point where they're calling you a sack of shit while at the same time demanding certain content from you, you have to tell them to fuck off. And that's exactly what I did. I said, look, even though I make videos for people to be entertained by, it's still my channel. And as such, I put on what I want to put on. And maybe the difference is, Mark, I'm not a YouTube partner. You are. You get paid for this stuff. I don't. So maybe I have a little bit more freedom with what I can put on here. But at the same time, you shouldn't let people walk all over you. When you do the stupidest fucking jokes, most harmless jokes, and people get all up in arms and demand your fucking head on a plank. The same people, mind you, Mark, that when you were in the hospital, they were locking themselves in the rooms and crying themselves to sleep because they didn't know what was going on. And now they want your fucking head on a stake, and you call them your fans. And and these are the same, like, when it comes to me, these people, because I was doing that, because I was telling them to fuck off, now they think I'm like, now they probably think, oh, he's just an egotistical asshole. Because, he bosses his fans around. All the shit you see on my ED page, which I still read from time to time because I think it's hilarious. He's just like Hitler. Like, people were actually comparing me and my fans to Hitler and the Nazis. Like, I'm German. Don't do that shit. Don't you compare me to Hitler, even though I'm German. But, no, that's what happened to us. We got labeled, like, me and James and Darkness, even though Darkness was kind of a dick to begin with. Me and James and Darkness, like Darkness the Curse, what he would do is that he would have a review plan, and every time people demanded it to come out, he would purposely postpone the release date, just to piss them off. Random DC, what he would do is he used to do handy dandy guides, and when he stopped making them, people demanded them. So what he did was he made 2 characters named Handy and Dandy. I think that's how it went, and basically continued them in character form, just to fuck with people. With people who are demanding shit from you, you just gotta fuck with them, man. Either fuck with them or tell them to fuck off. Basically, you have to put your foot down, Mark. Because, again, as I said, these people are not your fans. They're gonna sit there and demand content from you while at the same time calling you a sack of shit because you made a harmless fucking joke. It wasn't... And what does that say about what they think about trans women? Have you thought about this, Mark? Someone has a Western up on high volume, holy shit. But anyway, I mean, what does that tell you about what they actually think about trans women, Mark? When they see you, a guy in a dress, and a dude in a dress and makeup, and immediately think trans. What does that say about them? Because, if you ask me, I think they're the transphobic ones. Because they immediately equate a guy in a dress to trans. And, or like, they're the same people who are like, oh, makeup and clothing, they don't have genders. How dare you put genders in them? Yet they flip their shit when a guy wears makeup. Because, oh, you can't wear makeup, that's a women thing. Really? You just said that there is no gender for this shit. Now you're gonna... basically re-establish gender roles, the same ones that you're trying to destroy? You hypocritical dickwads. Basically, what I'm trying to say, Mark, is do not let these people control you. You are one of the most kind, heartfelt, and genuine people I've ever seen on YouTube. Like, sure, people call you another run-of-the-mill cookie-cutter PewDiePie ripoff because you're playing games and doing over-exaggerated reactions to them. I understand that, but when I can look past that and see that you are genuine, and honestly, I can't really say that about a lot of people that I watch. You just have to keep doing what you love to do, Mark. And the fact that people can see what you have done for this community and still think that you're just some shithead who's oppressing people by existing, it floors me. You've donated to charities. You've actually went to people's houses to make their lives just a little bit better. Every time you play a video game that involves a depressing subject, you always tell your fans that you love them and that there are places that you can go to whenever they feel suicidal and depressed, and there are people that they can talk to and will listen to them. I've never seen that with any other person, Mark, and it touches my heart. You know, it's heartbreaking, the shit that you're going through. The fact that these people can look at that. Look at everything that you've done and everything that you're doing for these people and say, oh, that Mark's an asshole because he made a joke that rustled my jimmies. Fuck them, Mark. You don't need them. And you sure as hell shouldn't be apologizing to them because you have nothing to apologize for. You just need to hoist yourself from your bootstraps and keep doing what you love doing. And that's making videos. And fuck the people who are offended over stupid shit. Mark, they called you a sexist because you advocated self-defense. Do you really want to appease those people who say that you're a sexist piece of shit who hates women because you dared to say that everybody has a right to defend themselves regardless of what gender they are and what gender of the person that they're being attacked by? You really want to make videos for those people, Mark? You really want to be associated with them? But yeah, Mark, I support you. I may not like all of your content, but I like you as a person. And as I said before, there needs to be more people like you. Because the world sure as hell doesn't have enough of people like you. So yeah, folks, that's really all I have to say. Best of luck in your future endeavors, Markiplier. And until next time... Fuck, I can't fit this over my glass. God damn it. Now the effect is ruined. And see you guys at GoTacoCon. Hello everybody, welcome to another BigAl vlog. And before we start, it's time for some